This is Radar for On the Radar Entertainment Blog, coming with another edition of movie review and observation number 14. Double seven, 7 plus 7. I can't believe I've done 14 of these. That means that we're almost approaching 16, which should be 4 months of being stuck in the house and watching movies, because there's really not much to go out and do between March and now July. And as I've stated before, with the libraries originally being shut down, only having so many from the library in my area, and then the Friends library, and then the free streaming sites, the Friends Netflix, and the site that you don't want to get viruses in your computer, I've started watching physical copies. I started to watch a couple last week. The first one that I watched was The Kitchen. Supposedly, it's based off a DC comic book from Vertigo, like their offshoot brand, where it's like these guys in this like mafiosos of Irish Scottish thing. They're running the town and stuff, Italian sort of thing, where the Italians they deal with the Italians, but like Irish Scottish, everybody's got their different crew. There's like a Jewish crew and stuff. So black crew is very interesting, and the husbands go to prison, and the wives don't know what to do because their husbands are not providing for them. They don't have jobs. They got nothing. They decided to take upon themselves to do what is called the kitchen, because of course they always say women belong in the kitchen. And no offense to Melissa McCarthy and Tiffany Haddish, they're funny women in select roles and select movies, and some of them are acquired tastes. I don't really believe them in serious roles. Yes, Melissa McCarthy's been in some serious roles, but they've been okay. The only one who's experienced being serious is Elizabeth Moss, but in this one she turns into some psycho crazy person who learns how to kill because her husband beat her, and her new boyfriend Domino Gleeson from Harry Potter teaches her how to kill, and she becomes a killer in this movie. I'm like, okay. And yeah, they bump heads with other people in the mob and all these other mafia people, and it's gory, and it's okay. It wasn't that long. 90 something minutes isn't bad, but it's not believable Haddish or McCarthy in serious roles, even if it's like a takes place in the past role. Blah 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 blah. So it's not like a really 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 bad movie, because Common's in it and people like him as an actor. It's just not the best movie. It's a watchable movie because it's not that long, with an interesting plot. Just not something I would run to watch. Then I watched Ophelia, which is like a take of a women's version of Hamlet, where he goes away and sees what the girl he likes is, and Emily Watts is his mother, and Clive Owen's in the movie, and all these other famous people. Tom Felton from Harry Potter, and The Flash is in there. It's all these famous British people, again, in another Shakespearean film. The movie was an hour and 46 minutes with credit. It felt like it was dragging on for 2 hours. Not because it was Shakespearean talk, it was just boring drama that was unneeded. So again, it's a below average movie. No offense to Daisy Ridley who's playing Ophelia, but I'm not running out to watch this movie. It's just below average compared to all the other Shakespearean movies. One of the best movies that I've seen recently has been Good Boy. These kids go on adventure. Little Rel and Retta play the parents of the black kid. They're going through a divorce. The main character, his father is Will Forte. And as funny as Will Forte and Little Rel is, I'm not believable as father. And then there's the rich kid who sings and stuff and has an earring. They don't really show his parents that much. And it's made by the people who made Superbad and Sausage Party, blah, 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 blah. And it's all about them girls they crush on and try to get their first kiss. And what they really realize is not always because you live near each other or your parents are friends that you'll stay friends. Because basically, they want to know how to kiss. Because a cool kid in the school has a kissing party. And so they use the father's drone. And of course, the girls who find the drone steal it and say, we won't give it back to you. Blah, blah, blah. And they steal their drugs. And yada, yada, yada. And they go on a wild goose chase using bikes and the kids' parents' money to get to like the closest mall that has it. And then they got to trade with them. Then they're cops, and then they're all the consequences of dealing with adults. It was like a coming of age story for these like tweens. We're like, we're not kids, but we're tweens and stuff. And you know what? Really good movie. Yeah, it was a little inappropriate because of all the crude humor, drugs, and all the other stuff. But it was pretty good. And being an hour and 27 minutes, it will fly by. And it'll be like, wow, that was a very short movie. Pretty good movie. So go watch Good Boys. Now, the next movie I watched was Cold War. It was really weird because there were a lot of singing and musical stuff going on, plays and bands. And I don't know what's going on with all that. There was barely any dialogue in this movie, and the only positive thing was it was an hour and 27 minutes, but it's like almost an hour and a half at most. It's just, I didn't really get the whole story of the movie and what's going on. It was just them singing and him trying to escape. Next movie I watched, everybody's saying Jennifer Lopez, amazing job. Yes, she's a great actress, dancer, and singer. She's super talented and whatnot. But the movie was like essentially 2 hours long about strippers, in the mid 2000s, how they hustled to get themselves money after, the whole economic issue with the market crashing. And Constance Wu does a good job. The whole movie is her like retelling a story, getting you in the world of how she got into this and Jennifer Lopez's world, and how Jennifer Lopez got greedy and kept hiring drug addicts and convicts, and it all blowing up on them and going to prison and stuff because they didn't keep the people they relied on. And Keke Palmer's in this movie, and there's Cardi B and Lizzo make appearances as female musicians. Like, okay, and Lily Reinhart from Riverdale does a good job in here, and it was an okay movie. Just was almost 2 hours long. Lots of drama. Nothing really funny about this movie for it to be a comedy. So it's a watchable movie. It's just not the best movie out there. Not Jennifer Lopez's best movie. Next movie I watched was a kids movie called Dora and the Lost City of Gold. And you're going to say to yourself, what 20-something-year-old's going to watch Dora? I haven't watched Dora since I was a very little kid. And I've watched pretty much every SpongeBob live-action movie and every live-action movie of a kid's show just because, let's just watch it. And guess what? For a movie that is only an hour and 30-something minutes with some singing and dancing at the end to make it even shorter if you take that out, it was a good story. So it was how she grew up, how her parents were in the jungle, and she goes to school, and she becomes friends with people, and they have some talents that they can help them. And her cousin Diego's with her and stuff. And Boots is in there, the Swiper by Benicio del Toro. And of course, you think there's a guy helping them, but really not. The parents are in trouble. She's got to go help her parents, and only she can do it. And Eva Longoria and Michael Pena now are like, we're going to start playing parents in movies. Eva Longoria is making some more, well-rounded acting choices than being a desperate housewife from a TV show. Michael Pena is a good actor. So, it was a pretty good movie. Lots of laugh. It's definitely a kids movie. Super appropriate for kids. Nothing inappropriate. And it was a likable movie. Outside of, like, all the singing and dancing and stuff. But yeah, I enjoyed watching it. I didn't think it was stupid or immature. I had a good time watching Dora and the Lost City of Gold, so I would recommend that. It was really good. Then the last movie I watched was The Goldfinch, where it's 2 hours and 29 minutes. Who wants to sit through a 2 hour and 29 minute movie unless it's like the Ten Commandments or Ben-Hur, or you're watching an Avengers or a superhero movie that lasts 2 hours long? It has to be action, adventure, sci-fi, comedy. It's got to be something exciting going on. It was a lot of talking. It started off when he was a kid. Then it shows him present day. Then it shows him back as a kid. It does a lot of time hopping to back when he was younger or different points of his young adulthood. And Nicole Kidman does a good job playing his like adoptive mom in a way. Didn't really like Luke Wilson or Sarah Paulson's role as his father and his father's girlfriend. Jeffrey Wright played a good role as a mentor to Ansel Elgort, who's a good actor, but it was like, the movie could be okay because it was kind of like forced. The friend that he was living with, he reunites with the family and he's going to marry the sister. And the mother who looked after him was happy that he was there. The girl he had a crush on kept coming back into his life. The Russian kid who kept transferring from school to school because his father kept moving and leaving him on his own, and they were doing drugs and alcohol as kids. The homoerotic relationship was just too much. They could have taken out like 30 to 40 minutes of this movie and it would have been under 2 hours and it would have been okay. This movie was just too long, too much crap going on, and not so great acting by people you expect to have good roles like Paulson or Luke Wilson. The only really redeeming actors in the movie was Jeffrey Wright. He was the only really good redeeming actor. So as I've said again, do not waste your time to watch a movie that's 2 hours and 29 minutes unless it's an action adventure movie or sci-fi. Watch Dora. You can watch it all ages. Fun adventure. You'll like all the adult actors in there besides the kids. Hustler is a little bit too long and a little bit too boring-ish, but it's watchable. It's not like, oh my god, it's a crappy movie. Don't watch Cold War. You'll waste your time. So really, Good Boys was the best movie I watched. Dora was the second best movie I watched. And I would say Hustlers would be the third best just because it was quality compared to the other movies. Don't watch Ophelia because you'll be bored. And The Kitchen was an okay premise, just you probably should have picked different actresses. And it was cool that it was based off a DC Verdicts comic. But again, thanks for listening to Movies and Reviews for On the Radar Entertainment Blog. I'm Radar for episode number 14. See you guys next time.